Go back to recording. So last week where we left off, we're trying to figure out which is the exhaust. So I made the unit look like the picture, which helps. So I know the exhaust is definitely the stainless steel one.
Yes.
And the exhaust is going to be this one, 8. So it's going to be this one right here.
That one right there.
Yeah, because I recognize the muffler. The muffler comes off of 8. Yeah. So it looks like it got bent.
Yeah, it did. Oh, shoot. There we go.
And that means the other one's the intake. Air intake. It's probably a black little hose.
Yeah, the black hose. We just had it here. Let's crying out loud.
It's the gremlins. Oh, there it is. It's fall behind here. Here it is.
Okay.
I think they give you a little hose clamp.
Yeah, they do.
I'm gonna set this up and let that's not gonna work. Maybe not. There's a hose clamp for probably this one here, and
Air intake.
yeah.
There should be, I see how many hose clamps you got. There should be at least 4. All right. So this is a muffler.
No, that's the air intake.
That's your air intake.
It looks like we didn't get a muffler, which happens. Sometimes you don't get a muffler because it's they're cost cutting.
Oh, that's totally fine. So we got 2 1-inch and 1 3/4 inch. So this must be the muffler. Hey,
Let me get you the
it's amazing.
let me get you the screwdrivers.
Yeah,
I don't know which
cool.
one.
Thank you.
Well, if you do it right, you don't have to do it later. I mean,
Technically, that's what we're looking at.
okay.
And they put this nice little hose clamp slot in the side, so that makes it nice.
Oh, cool. I never noticed that.
That's pretty cool. So the 2 clamps will go here. So this is going to have to, the nut is going to have to go to the outside and not to the inside, or it'll interfere with that fuel inlet side. Come on, Jimmy Bob, work with me. And see how it fits right in there in that slot.
Wow, that's a pro tip right there. I've never seen that in any other video.
Yeah. So the slot makes it so you can get to your clamps without disassembling anything. That's important. And
I guess that keeps the mice from just getting sucked up in there.
also acts as a check valve. You see the little.
Oh.
So what you do is pro tip: anytime you have a large volume and you shrink the volume to a smaller volume or a smaller size, it'll act as a quasi check valve in the future. So if you don't have the proper check valves and you don't need a real check valve, just decrease the pipe size, then increase the pipe size, and then decrease it again, and then increase it again, and you'll act as a check valve. But more importantly, it'll act semi like a capacitor for water or airflow. So we're going to set this up so everything's down below.
Isn't that cool? It's already ready to go. That's a sticking point for a lot of people. They're like, why are these pipes in the way? It's like, I don't know. So you can go through the floorboard of your RV or whatever.
Yeah. That's what they're particularly designed for. But we're using this in a different application.
Basically, greenhouse
Yes.
augmentation or emergency heat or something, you know.
Oh, we want to make it nice. So put your clamp nut on the bottom so you can't see it. So it looks nice and clean. Those of us who are Virgos notice those kinds of things.
I'm a Capricorn. Apparently, we're at least my style of Capricorn is a rat's nest. I really.
Okay. This is where the diesel goes?
Yep. And there'll be a priming deal for a little bit, but other than that, we're pretty much 95% of the way there.
Whoa. Maybe I don't have enough.
Well, I can fill you up before I leave.
This is on-road diesel. I didn't.
And yeah, you don't have to use on-road because we're off-road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another added economy. Getting some of that red
Well,
diesel.
this should be enough to get it started, I would think.
Well, I guess we'll. What is it called? FIFO or
FIFO?
FAFO.
So what do we got to do to fire this up?
Just plug it in.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
And then the little display module, it will tell you the status, and you press buttons.
Okay, the exhaust isn't touching anything. Move it to the center here. Intake isn't touching. Nothing's interfering. The power's hooked up correctly. Okay. Diesel's in. So I guess we'll fire it up. Ready, pal?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, and then we got to turn it on. Sorry. So there's the on switch right here.
Oh, no, I got to plug it in.
Oh, okay.
First. I didn't plug it in
Oh,
to the solar system.
okay.
And this system right now in the off position is drawing 10 milliamps. So we'll turn it on and
So just hit the on button.
okay. Okay.
You might need to hold it a little bit when you turn on. There it goes. So right there you have H3. That's heater setting 3. There's a bunch of other ones. Now this is gonna, when this starts up, you're gonna think it's going nuclear. It's not. Don't let it scare you.
Okay.
It's exactly like a jet engine.
Okay, we're in H3. We're in basic operation mode. And let's unplug this so we get a very accurate amperage reading. It is drawing 1.8 amps right now, and we're not at full mode.
So right now it's assessing its situation. It's just waking up. You hear the little fans. It's doing a test of its brains, and eventually you're gonna hear it start clicking as it pumps the primes the. There's supposed to be a little status, little animation here that lets you know. So right now the fans are moving,
Yeah.
and then later on it's like a little animated status.
You can feel a little bit of air blowing here, but
There's
there
it's
we go.
priming. You hear the barest beginnings of that jet engine winding up. It's absolutely fascinating. It scared the shit out of me the first time. I was like, no, what's gonna explode?
Okay, it's cycling up, and we are drawing 2 amps even. This is real accurate information, the amount of amps that it's drawing, because this will tell you if you want to hook up to a off-grid switching system. You'll know exactly how many amps you need for the system to work. And eventually this will be in an off-grid system itself. So what we're going to hook it up to is it's going to be hooked up to an isolated on-grid system. And when the power goes out, it'll switch over to a solar system. And that's what we really need to know, how many amps it's drawing in a solar system, so we can hook up, develop our off-grid system to meet and or exceed what we need to run this heater. So when the power goes out, it'll switch over to a DC system and it'll run as normal. And that's what we're looking at right now. So they install these in all kinds of off-grid van systems that work off diesel systems inside a vehicle to heat interiors of vehicles, and that's where this system really came into. And the Chinese exploited it to its most advanced industrial application, the cheapest systems. There's nothing wrong with the system, so don't worry too much about it. But if you want to go with a more expensive system, that's perfectly fine. The application is the same. Here we go. You can hear it firing up right now. And it's putting out at least 25 CFM right now.
You can adjust for H3. You can go higher to a higher heat level or down for a lower heat level. But H3 is just for starting up, basically.
And we're starting to get some heat here. It's at least 5 or 10 degrees hotter already. And we're starting to get some serious action now. It's firing up. So most of the noise is coming off of the exhaust system right now. You can hear it right here. You don't have the muffler attached, so it's going to be noisy as hell. And we're back down to 1 amp after it warms up.
It's basically a glow plug. It's got to heat up,
Plug.
and then
Yeah.
then after that it goes into maintenance.
So it appears to be firing up normally. This is awesome.
Turn it up.
Really awesome.
Turn it up all the way and see what happens.
There we go. max operation.
Is it 6 or 8? I don't remember.
6.
It only goes up to.
It only goes up to 6.
Okay, now we know.
We're just going off the bars down below here. So 6 is maximum. 1 through 4 is for. It appears to be normal operation.
Okay.
But we're going to max just to find out how many amps it's actually pulling. That's quite a bit of heat. That's actually, I can barely hold my hand. I'm out here and this is about as close to as I can get with my hand without burning myself.
So it's taking ambient air and adding the heat to it. So in the winter it won't be this super hot. But if you're able to pipe in ambient air, it'll just upgrade what it is.
Yes, yes.
So there's a online contention whether you should use outside air or interior air. But because these are separated, you can breathe this and it's not going to kill you. All the exhaust is separated, just like in a nuclear reactor.
Right.
It's the water systems are separated.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I can breathe that with no problem because there's no contamination.
But the cool thing is, this exhaust system, I'm thinking I could use a a pipe system to heat up the
Water. Yep.
inside the system before I exhaust it.
Yep.
exterior.
People do that. Wrap that with copper, just like with your stove.
Yeah, that would be an excellent idea.
That's going to be red hot. Don't touch it.
Yes, it is hot.
I've touched those and burnt myself real bad.
You can actually feel the heat coming off of it. So, and there's quite a, and it is. You don't want to stick your finger
No.
through that exhaust.
No. I've actually cooked off a can of canned meat. It actually exploded the can from the heat.
Ooh.
I left it in the exhaust forgot about it.
Wow.
So yeah, see,
Well, damn, that's really doing well.
and you can run it 24/7. Well, as long as when you heat up or fill up that capacity, at least on the medium setting, it'll run 24 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, it's drawing 0.7 amps right now at full operation. That's on 6, setting 6, and fully warmed up. 0.7 amps, which is going to be nothing over a 1 month period. That'll be wow. You could theoretically, if you're only paying $8 for a kilowatt hour, you could probably run it all month for $8 at full speed, plus your fuel.
I just use that off-road diesel, and then people try using motor oil and crap. I would keep it clean, just off-road diesel.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep clean fuel in it.
But they last for several years, and then and there's a remote control here. I never fooled with it too much. If you want to learn about it, you can turn it on and off from the remote control.
For what we're doing here, it's stabilized now, temperature-wise and burning capacity. That exhaust is really hot.
Yeah, perfect for copper coil heat.
Yes.
What is it called? Heat recovery.
Yeah, heat recovery or heat scavenging.
And then who knows if you can use that exhaust for your plants or whatever to hopefully not gas yourself, but So yeah, we're in an open air thing. Otherwise, it'd be kind of dangerous to run exhaust in here. But yeah, I mean, it works right out of the box too.
It works right out of the box.
And they're famous, and they're about $100. That's it.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, they basically.
It's still drawing 0.7 amps.
Yeah, you could dry your clothes,
So you buy these on Amazon or?
eBay, Amazon. There's actually different companies and different importers, and they keep changing the specs a little bit. I don't know which importer this is, but
It says it's 12 or 24 volts.
Yeah, so they make them more or less fancy, and but basically you want one that looks like this. This is a so yeah, I think just be able to set it up so fast and get it going.
Yes.
It's a real. This could save your ass if you need heat, and it's so cheap. And it's set it and forget it. You can once you have it set up, you can walk away for several hours.
Exhaust is really putting out some heat, though.
Yeah,
You could really scavenge that in the future.
exactly. I can just this is like giving a brand new tool set to a carpenter. You don't know what they're gonna do, but you know it's gonna be cool.
Okay, let's turn it down to nominal half. Let's turn it to 3 at half and see if there's any change and what the changes are. The temperatures went down slightly. So that's a medium temperature, medium fuel usage. That exhaust is still way hot. And it's still putting out pretty good heat here. To keep from burning, I'm, 18 inches from the end of the exhaust.
Yeah, you could cook food, you could dry clothes, you could there's all kinds of ideas. And
yeah, heavens yes. And it's drawing half an amp right now.
And that's we could get off of there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sweet. I forgot.
Drawing exactly half an amp at half temperature, which is still hot. It's still warm enough that you can't even touch it. It's
These are amps you're pulling in.
Yep.
So three and a half amps there, and then 2 amps there. So it's more than covering it.
Yes, more than covered. So, just FYI, that is an LED light. It's rated at half an amp. Okay, so now it's up to 7.7. So that LED light and that heater is still less than 1 amp.
And now when you want to work out here and when it's cold, you got yourself a cheap heater you can run. But you'll probably need a couple of these, so you have one going wherever you are.
So let's turn it down to 1 and see how it reacts. We'll have to give it a minute or two. So this must work as a catalyst type heater or something. Do they explain the principle of operation?
Well, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos. There's a guy that dissects them. There's actually several guys, and they basically say it is a diesel engine, but instead of a piston moving, it's just direct fired, with a glow plug.
Oh, really?
So it's basically like a a diesel rocket engine.
Well, that's kind of cool.
And then the fans, they run over a heat sink, like an aluminum enclosure.
Oh yeah, it has a description right there.
Yeah, it's originally a Webasto German design, and the Chinese, I don't want to say stole it, but maybe the patent went out or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long these will be for sale because they work so good, but they use, you know, polluted carbon diesel, you know, but you know, they work. I don't know why they still allow the import of them because they work. They're gonna put everything else out of business because you can run these cheaper. The only thing cheaper than this is running wood.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're on one. It's definitely hot. I mean, it's the temperature is and volume have decreased a little bit, but it's still have to keep your hand away from it.
Yeah, as long as you have enough insulation, that will do you good.
And this is 0.4 amps. So a 1 amp system was solar system would about all you'd really need to keep this thing running.
Yeah,
But you'd want to jump up to about 2.5 just to be safe.
You want a margin for error.
Margin of error.
Is it, you know, temperature fluctuations, Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law. Yeah, definitely Murphy's Law.
But yeah, this system you got here, it won't get taxed at all by this.
No, it won't. Nothing.
So you just provide the diesel, and then the rest is free. Well, you're gonna have to figure out how to pipe it in or whatever you want to do recovery-wise. But yeah,
This needs its own, in my opinion, for my application, I'm going to have it in its own enclosure.
something easy to walk away
Keep
from.
it light,
Yeah.
something you can walk away from. You don't have to worry about it. Probably a small metal cabinet would be great.
There are people that upgrade the fuel tank to where it's a huge, you know, basic barrel, 55-gallon barrel.
But if you're only checking it once, I mean, if you only have to fill it once a day, I mean, let's be honest, guys. How many days do you really need?
Well, I hope I wasn't excited for nothing, but I think this is what you're looking for
I think
at least one form
It is.
of backup heating. You want several backups, but this
yes.
could definitely supplement or augment whatever.
Yeah. That is pretty cool. Yes, 0.4 amps on
Wow.
lowest setting.
I'll just get the manual real quick in case someone loses their manual. They'll be able to. Oh, the lighting's not that good. Well, they're online.
Yeah, they should be online.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a bad looking manual. It got rained on, so that's why.
Oh, okay.
I ordered 3 of them in case 2 didn't work, but all of them worked that I used. Just one, so I was like, had some extras. I was like, I gotta show my buddy on this because no one will believe you unless they see it. This doesn't exist in the catalog for American Ingenuity. I mean, at that price point and operational costs, we don't have anything like this on stateside. If you order the original Webasto German stuff, it's like the $800 for their base model stuff. So, and they don't have all the digital controls and stuff either. So it's basically cheap and nasty, and it works. So what are you gonna do? Because yeah, Old Man Winter will, it's worse than going to the casino. He'll clean you out financially, trying to stay warm. So yeah, I don't know. Are you sold? It's free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Late Christmas. I should have brought this
Merry
over.
Christmas, no.
I should have brought this over sooner, but
You. Okay. Let's shut her down and see what it looks like.
okay. And you just hold it, yeah, off, and then it'll go through. It's got to go through a cooling cycle, like I said about the has to cool down so it doesn't melt down. And it's cool. It's all animated too. Like, you know, they put some creativity into that. You hear it spinning down.
Yeah. It's at 2 amps right now as it's shutting down. Well, 1.9 amps. So once you get this thing up and running, it's almost no electricity. Still putting out quite a bit of heat. Yeah, I think if we put this in a metal cabinet, this thing would be just awesome. And use an externally filtered air going into it, and a heat exchanger in the bottom. This would work very, very well. There we go. Now it's cooling off.
And then online you can see how to disassemble. It's almost like cleaning a firearm. There's just like carbon and stuff in there. So you clean them out once in a blue moon. Basically, when they start malfunctioning, you just clean all the carbon out and they're ready to go again.
Yeah.
I've not done that, but I've seen it done with the videos and stuff. So there's a huge.
I think this is a better idea than the gravity-fed pellet stove at this point.
Make sure it proves it. I mean, it's really cool, but you need the operational